Minister Narendra Modi spoke with Iran's President Dr. Pezeshkian to discuss the current tense situation in the region. He expressed serious concern over the recent rise in conflict and violence. PM Modi repeated India's stance for peace and called for immediate de-escalation. He stressed the need for dialogue and diplomacy to resolve issues and bring back stability and security in the region. India remains committed to supporting efforts for early peace and avoiding further conflict. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has issued an indirect warning, saying that ignoring India's global role could have consequences. Without naming China and Pakistan, he said countries that exclude India may have to pay a price. He encouraged nations to work with India for development and peace, sending a clear diplomatic signal to its rivals. India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval may visit China next week, which will be his second visit since December. The trip aims to give a strong message on terrorism and improve India-China relations. Doval will also prepare for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, which is slated to be held in September. He is expected to meet his Chinese and Russian counterparts during the visit. The focus will be on better regional cooperation and reducing tensions between India and China nations. A flight carrying 290 Indian students from Iran landed safely in Delhi. Amid ongoing evacuation efforts, over 1,100 Indians have now returned home safely amid the rising Iran-Israel conflict. Meanwhile, the J&K Student Association has come out in support of Operation Sindhu. Home Minister Amit Shah is on two-day visit in Chhattisgarh. He will inaugurate a National Forensic Science University campus in Raipur and review anti-Naxal operations. On June 23, he will visit a BSF camp in Narayanpur, reflecting a government's focus on strengthening internal security and boosting infrastructure in the fight against Naxalism. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas called for calm and diplomacy after US strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. She urged all countries to return to peace talks and avoid more violence. Kallas said Iran must not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons and stressed that dialogue is the only way forward. President of the European Commission Ursula also reiterated the same. EU Foreign Minister will soon meet to discuss the crisis. A day after nominating US President Donald Trump for Nobel Peace Prize, Pakistan has now condemned the US strike on Iran's nuclear sites, calling a violation of international laws. Pakistan Deputy Prime Minister, who is also a foreign minister, Ishaq Dar expressed concerns over the growing tensions in West Asia. He warned of serious consequences if the conflict escalates. Pakistan called for respect for civilian lives and urged all parties to follow international laws and a UN charter. It emphasized the importance of peace talks and diplomacy. Iranian Foreign Minister Araghchi accused the US and Israel of destroying diplomatic talks. He said Iran never left negotiation and questioned how talks could happen when others blew up the process. His statement followed attack by Israel and the US. Iran maintains that it is still open to diplomacy but blames the West for creating a war instead of peace. The minister warned of serious consequences if dialogue doesn't restore. After US airstrike on Iranian nuclear sites, Iran fired ballistic missiles at Israel, injuring 86 people. This attack follows rising tension between US, Iran and Israel. Iran claims it's defending itself while Israel is on high alert. The US had earlier targeted Fordo, Natanz and Isfahan nuclear facilities inside Iranian territories. Israel said it destroyed 2 Iranian F-5 fighter jets and neutralized 8 missile launchers in the last 24 hours. The IDF used over 20 fighter jets to strike several military sites in Iran. They claimed some launchers were ready to fire at Israel. As per the Israel forces, the airstrikes targeted locations making explosive materials, escalating the conflicts between the two nations. The NIA has arrested Parvez and Bashir Ahmed for aiding Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists in the April 22 Pahalgam terror attack that killed 26 tourists, mostly Hindus. The accused gave shelter and support to the terrorists. A London-bound flight from Chennai returns soon after takeoff due to an operational issues. All 209 passengers landed safely at Chennai airport. The airline cited safety reason for the return and is arranging alternate travel plans. Although there was brief panic, the situation was handled calmly. An investigation is ongoing to determine the exact cause of the issue. In Uttar Pradesh Chandosi, authorities demolished illegal structure at Razai Masjid and 34 nearby houses built on municipal land. Despite prior notice, no action was taken by the residents. The operation led by SDM Vinay Kumar Mishra aimed to clear government land and was carried out carefully to avoid harming surrounding areas as a part of a border anti-encroachment drive. In Maharashtra's Sambhajinagar, a Hindu youth named Nitin Sanakpal was stabbed to death by a bruiser named Mastan Qureshi and his group over a minor dispute. Sanakpal's brother and friend were also injured in the incident. Following the murder, police arrested 5 accused under BNS SC/ST Act. However, the accused secured bail the next day. Locals are demanding the strict punishment. An Afghan national was arrested at Bhubaneswar airport while attempting to leave India using a fake passport. He was on an Outlook circular issued by Kolkata police, caught during immigration checks. Authorities are now probing whether he had any possible links with criminal or terror activities. Indian wrestlers shined at the Under-23 Asian Championship in Vietnam, winning 10 medals in women wrestling, including 4 gold by Priyanshi, Reena, Shrishti and Priya. Sumit won gold medal in men's Greco-Roman, while Nitesh and Ankit Gulia earned bronze. India also clinched the women's team title, highlighting the rising power of Indian athletics internationally. The IMD issued a heavy rain warning from June 22 to 26 across multiple states. Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Northeast regions may face flood-like condition. Red alert are in a place in several areas like Delhi NCR will also see a rain, cooler weather and strong winds. Offering relief from heat, monsoon activity is now fully active.